This is The Wow Effect, the podcast for women entrepreneurs who are scaling big. I'm Mallory Steele, and every episode expect honest conversations, actionable insights, and stories that make you say, wow. What does it take to leave a toxic corporate job, move across the country, and build a thriving accounting firm from scratch, just through word of mouth? In today's episode of The Wow Effect, Paula, founder of Asset Smart Accounting, shares how she built a fully remote, values-driven business, navigated scams, and learned that choosing the right clients is more important than chasing more clients. We talk trust, consistency, chemistry first, client selection, and the mindset shifts that turned doubt into freedom, flexibility, and six-figure growth. If you want clarity, confidence, and calm in your business, this episode is for you. Welcome to the Wow Effect podcast. Paula, I am so honored that you are joining me on this. I know we just met very recently, but right away just loved your story, and I'm so excited that we get to share your story here today. So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't think it was interesting enough.
Absolutely. You have an amazing story. So I'm excited to jump into it. And I'm wondering if you want to kick us off and if you can share kind of a bit of the story behind your business and how did you get started, and what kind of brought you to the work that you're doing now?
I come from corporate and I went to many toxic places. And I always thought, my thought was that if you're not happy in a place, why stay? So I had issues with my resume because after a year I'll move on and people will ask, and they really don't appreciate that. It's just I couldn't stay in a place that I didn't like. And after I moved to Florida, my son moved out of the house and I said, I'm gonna try it. Very scared. I talked to a couple of my professors from my master's degree and they pushed me, and it's working. I have an amazing team, so it has to be that. It's not just me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Paula, how long have you had your accounting firm now?
It's going to be 3 years in April.
3 years.
And now we are 5 in the office.
Yeah, you've done some scary things that people, like women who are listening right now, some of them are afraid to take that jump from the toxic corporate environment, and some of them who've already made the jump are like, how did you do that in less than 3 years?
Well, I had help. My brothers helped me with money because, I had to start from zero. I was laid off from the previous job, and then I decided that it was it. I wasn't going to work with anyone else.
How did you?
It's very scary. Like I don't even have a Facebook page yet or a LinkedIn because I didn't think it was going to work. So now I'm working on it.
And it's working. So how did you get that many clients to be able to have 5 people on your team without even a Facebook or LinkedIn? Like it's like you have so much grit and you're like, I'm just going to make this happen anyways. I'm going to do it anyways. And so many women kind of use it as an excuse to not even get started. It's like, I got to wait for my website. I got to wait for my LinkedIn. I got to wait for my social media, but you've done it.
We were very lucky, and we met a couple of wonderful people, and they like our job, and everything is word of mouth. We get referred because, like I say, my team is amazing. I have an amazing accountant doing the work that I wouldn't even want to do, and I do taxes. So it just worked. Treating them the way that I will expect someone will treat me, and.
Yeah. They say the definition of luck is preparation, right? You're probably prepared for the moment that you walked into, even though you didn't realize it. All those years of experience. Yeah. So Paula, what drew you into accounting? What is it that you love about it?
Oh, I knew I was going to be an accountant since 7th grade. I had my first accounting class in 7th grade, and I'm telling you, I remember the T's, debit and credit. And I remember thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I went for accounting. That is that I always wanted to do. So community college, my associates. And then from there, I transferred to a 4-year school that it was very close to work. And after work at 4, I will go to school until 10. And my son grew up with a babysitter, but I always like accounting. And then I found out about tax and how tax work in this country. And I was in love. I love taxes. So I went for my master in
Okay, I
taxes.
was in love. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. Tell me more about this. I was in love with taxes.
Oh, I love taxes. It's something about it. I like studying. Like right now, I'm taking the exams to become an enroll agent with the IRS. So it's something that feeds my head, and tax is interesting for me. Uh, I just like it, and every person is different. Every business is different, so you always learn something. I've learned so much this year, last year, with everything that I studied. That is ridiculous, and that's something that motivates. Tax season for me is a rush.
I love it. I'm sure your clients love that it's a rush for you and that you love the taxes, because most business owners love to hand that stuff over and not even look at it, right?
Oh yes, yes, of course. And you always tell people you have to look, read, review, and we're still humans, and after review, and something can happen or pass, by us. But my clients trust me.
Good. Tell me about some of your, not like, don't give any names or any private information. Just tell me about some of your clients, some of them that maybe the that they excite you, or some scenarios that they run into, or challenges that they run into that other business owners would benefit from hearing those stories.
Um, right now, it's a lot of scam. Like
Mm.
everywhere is ridiculous. And I got a Teams message from my client, and she say, pay this invoice. And when I look at the invoice, it was $95,000. And I knew we couldn't afford that. Like I knew the situation that we were in, and I tried to call her, and she sent me to voicemail, and then she sent me a message in Teams and say, pay it, it's fine. And I started doing it. And at one point, I don't know, something about it, I couldn't get in touch with the client. She always messaged me through WhatsApp. So the Teams thing was a little bit of, the thing is, because I couldn't get to her, I called another person at the same company, and I say, something is going on. I need to see her at face to face. She got, they hacked her account. Someone was texting me. I was
Mhm.
this
Wow.
close to make that transfer. And after that, I told my clients, any amount that I don't feel comfortable, I need to see your face. But over $1,000, you have to FaceTime me and say, yes, it's me, in your face. I need to see you. That was very scary. We Everything looked so normal, the communication, like even they were even imitating, because she's not a English speaker. Her first language is not English, so they were using the same expressions that the way that she will talk to me. It was like I was texting her. So it was bad.
And
I
how
like
you were able to recognize the flags there, and catch it in time.
I was so close. I even created a client in the bank, like to make the wire. Like it was very close, and something it didn't like it. So I believe, listen, if my client doesn't appreciate my security systems, then I can't work with that person. I'm
You
doing
know,
it for them.
Paul, I think that's something we don't talk about enough, is protecting ourselves as we grow in business and as we scale, like all of the vulnerabilities that we're open to. And that just is one of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And think about it. Of course, we're insured and everything, but a mistake can ruin your reputation. And depending on the mistake, the IRS can come and, remove all your, access to, to do taxes or any of your
Hmm.
numbers and all these things that they assign to you. So it can ruin my life right there. Have to go and I
Yeah,
don't
in
know
one instant.
when. Yes.
Crazy. Are there any other things that come up that you see, like maybe even on a regular basis of recommendations, or before clients even come to you, if they're in business, what are some things they should be thinking about before they go and hire an accountant?
Well, chemistry, and that's another thing in our company. And when we are interviewing a client, we make sure that we feel it. And other jobs, I had a situation that I know I was gonna work with someone, and I'm like, ugh, and that's not what I want. So I think that we have to have a connection, and you have to trust us. Don't start like, I'm not going to give you my bank account, or I'm not going to do. No, it's both of us. You trust me, I trust you. But we have to trust that you're giving us the right answers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, if it doesn't work, we have to fire the client or not take the account. But it's just following our hearts.
Absolutely. So, Paula, you have a team of 5. Did you ever have a challenge with letting go of some of the control and delegating? Because that's a big piece that as women scale their businesses and start to build out their team, it's like, this is my baby. I don't want to let go of these pieces. And, I always did all of the things. But then when you build up a team, you start to let go of some pieces, but also the pieces to the right people, having the right people in the right seats.
Mhm.
No.
Listen, I know, and I think it's because my team is so amazing. So I have an amazing accountant that I just know that whatever she does is going to do it even better than me. I know she has this focus, and her brain works in amazing ways. And and then we hire another person, and they go through a 3-month test. And because it's complicated, the stuff that we do is, the same way that we have a couple of easy accounts. Easy meaning they don't require the accounting that we put in a school or a university.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I trust the people that I have. I go and review the work, but I actually been doing really good at that. We just hired an admin person, and he's doing all this work that takes all this time for me. Sometimes at the end of the day, I realize that I reply to emails, I contact companies, I'm doing research about this software or this, and my work didn't get done. And he's doing it amazing. But I also learn, and we're doing background checks, and we're doing everything that I can to protect us and protect my clients. So we only
Well,
give the information within, as possible, and as we get to learn and know people.
I admire how well you speak about your team, and you're constantly complimenting them, and you credit them, and don't take all that credit for yourself. You credit
Oh,
the team.
I am what I am, and we are where we are because of the team.
Yes.
Not by myself, or maybe with a person that I don't trust, I will be doing little things, and it wouldn't be as successful as it is today.
Why do you think you were able to attract such a great team? Why did they want to work with you?
And I believe, unless you know you have to be in front of a client, that you should work your 8 hours a day the way that is convenient for you.
Mm.
And as long as the work is done, I don't care what time you did it. And I have a person that works from 7 p.m. to 10 or 11 because she has, babies. And then have another person that starts at 11 and finish at 7. And this guy is the new admin, started 9 to 5, but he also has a 10-day-old baby.
Mhm.
So he was texting me about, I'm at the doctor's, and I said, remember, as long as the work is done, I am so far, me and another person who put our faces to the client, I don't need you. As long as the work is done, is all I need. So I think that's attractive.
Yeah. And everybody
I
works
try to
remotely.
be very correct with the pay. Um, I pay what the position deserves, and I think that I'm good about that.
Good. And everybody works remotely, Paula?
Yes,
Which is
yes.
another another scary thing for some entrepreneurs to shift from a traditional office space to fully remote. And so there's that whole debate or dialogue around how do you maintain a remote culture, or do you even need a remote culture, because people want to do their work, show up, produce, but also part of, like, it allows them to have the lifestyle with their family.
We have 4 states, and one of the person that work with me, we never met in person. Never. Like it's always been through Zoom. But I know who she is. I don't know. She feels good. I like her. It's something about people. And
It sounds like without even realizing it, you've aligned your values.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and they understand. I don't need people sitting there, even if you don't have anything to do, or if you're thinking about something else. No, do your life and then work. Life is always first. And I have one of them that travels 3 or 4 times a year, international and everything, and he always carry his computer, but I don't care. The work is done. So I'm all jealous about his traveling.
You used the word lucky earlier, and I want to say you're lucky now that you have a team, and maybe it's industry specific to accounting. I don't know if this can be just as lucky in all industries to be able to have such a great team, remote, never meeting, and holding accountable, right? You've got a lot of deadlines you have to deal with. So how do you
Oh yeah.
prepare for those deadlines and make sure that everybody's on board, on the same page, hitting those deadlines, and prepare for it kind of leading up to it, and then probably debriefing afterwards?
Well, we invest in software. We are just setting up the new software called Monday for project management.
Mm-hmm.
It is ridiculous. It's just the way that we found about it, and we have each project and what the tasks are monthly or weekly, bi-weekly, annual and everything, and it's there. So it just creates, we create the deadlines. It reminds us 5 days before you haven't done this. It is ridiculous, but you need to do that. Like some people say, listen, I don't want to talk about some people. I like technology, and I need it needs to be invested for the world to be easier for everybody. And that way I don't have to call them and say, hey, where are you on this? No, I can just go and check on the project. So I love technology. I love it. It costs, but I think it pays off.
Yeah. So what I heard you just say is you don't have to micromanage now.
Oh, I
You don't have to
don't.
constantly check up and be like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You just open your software and you have
Yes,
access to all the information in
yes.
front of you all
And
the
I
time.
trust them.
Yeah.
And they know how I am. If it doesn't work, you're out. And I don't try mean it that way. It's just that we need people that works,
Yeah.
and it is working. Amazing.
Paula, when you think to yourself earlier in your career, how have you shifted to who you are today? When you think about who you used to be versus who you are now, what kind of shifts did you go through along your journey?
Well, I had to trust myself. I noticed that I'm a little bit more confident in the fact that I have people that trust me with everything that they have. Um, Means that I am doing something good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard because I'm always too hard on myself. I never do things the right way, or you know how we are with ourselves. And so I'm trying to understand that it is I have something good and I have something to offer. I have a client that told me that I have a charm. I would have never said that about me. And when we
That's part of
got a
the
new
charm, that you would never say that about yourself.
Exactly. And when I'm gonna interview a new client, she always tells me, put your camera on. And I don't know. I guess I do. I really, I would have never thought that I could sell. And pretty much that is what I'm doing right now, networking. And because now I have a team that does the work that I was doing. So I do a lot of, conferences. I've been traveling a lot, and it looks like I do have it.
How do you juggle all that? How do you maintain that, managing a team and the travel and keeping the consistent flow of work or growing the work? Because now that you have a team, you want to make sure that you keep the same flow of work to keep them busy too, right? So how do you manage all
Oh,
of that?
yeah. My accountant takes care of most of it. I made her a manager, and so she takes care of all this accounting stuff. And I take care of the taxes, so I don't have to worry about that. Of course, we meet weekly. We have our team meeting. We catch up, and there's a lot of things that I still have to do with the client and the bigger conversations. Of course, I have to be involved, but they are good. I'm telling you, is I don't have to watch them.
Yeah.
And when I'm traveling, is my time management because I know I still have to do my work. The deadlines just ended, and we had October 15, and we have November 15 for nonprofits, and so it's always something I have to figure it out because I love traveling. I love going to different states and doing, sightseeing and hikes every time that I can. So I'm not going to stop traveling.
As I say, I used to find when I traveled, I was actually way more productive out of the office traveling than I was when I was in the office. But
Well, yeah, because I know when I'm leaving, so I have to leave everything ready because I don't want to stay in the room
yeah,
working.
yeah.
No, this is to see.
Are there any spots that have been your favorite that you've traveled to?
I have a client in Sacramento, and I went to Tahoe for the first time. I was crying. I never seen anything so beautiful.
Wow.
The roads, the drive was scary, but the, it was just breathtaking, breathtaking.
I'll have to put that on my list. I've never been there, so
Oh
I'll add
my
that to my
God,
list.
it is ridiculous. But everything, I lived in Massachusetts for 21 years, so I'm very familiar with New Hampshire, and now I'm really craving all that snow and
Mhm. I'm gonna take us to a negative spot for a second. Hopefully, flip it back into a positive. But you mentioned earlier that you came from a toxic work environment. Um, have you ever experienced burnout? Because toxicity can lead to burnout in the corporate environment. But since launching your business, have you ever teetered with burnout in the business realm, or because you've been able to design the life that you want, you've kind of put it into practice some of the habits to stay away from and avoid burnout?
I haven't had it. I worried because that's my nature. And every day, first it was me, then after a year it was two of us, and a year later it's five of us. And I only just worry, what if it's too many people that are depending on me now? So is
Mhm.
that it? If we lose this client or this client moves on, and is that I'm worried about, but not about work.
Yeah. So, are there more lessons like that you picked up from your previous careers that helped guide you to say, okay, this is how my business is going to run because I don't want it to look like that?
That's exactly what I'm doing. All
Mhm.
my horrible experiences, I am taking them and going the other way because it and I'm not going to say that I didn't learn. I work with very toxic people, but I learned a lot, a lot. They were very smart, just people that, whatever it is, their issue. But so I appreciate that. It put me here. It gave me a lot of experience. Um,
I love your perspective on all of it. I'm so happy that you share that because it's really tough when women get stuck in their story or in a piece of it, and that prevents them from moving forward. But you've used it as fuel to really kick off something amazing with what you're doing.
thank you. I am trying. I don't want to be that person. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I want to do something good. And I also don't want to limit ourselves of how big we can get.
Yeah. Paula, were there any other moments in your journey that may have felt like a setback at the time, but ended up, helped shape you in a powerful way?
It's I was a single mother, and so I was always afraid of losing everything, and having to live in the car with my son and my two dogs. So I think that's the reason why I waited for too long to do it. Since I was studying, I wanted to do it. I also want to do a little bit of immigration work, but that's something that I have in the back of my mind. Is but I think I saw a lot of the way that some of my previous jobs treated people, and it's just that trying to end that toxicity. It is scary, and really, really what it was holding me always back, it was myself. I just never thought that I could do it. But remember, I have a charm.
Yes, you do. You do have a charm.
So
What do
I
you,
guess,
you know what? I asked you this question before. What do you like about people? But people like you. And there's certain people, right? Like we don't love all people, but certain people.
oh yeah.
You have to
Hmm.
love working with people and you have to have that certain charm to attract the right people that you want to work with. And somehow you've managed to attract the right people for your team, the right people as your clients. For women who are struggling with, sometimes they start out and take all the business and they take out anything they can get, even if it's not the right team member and it's not the right client. They take all of that stuff and they're sitting there being like, why did I start a business? I've got all these headaches. It's worse than the job that I just left because I just created my own toxic environment. So any guidance for someone like that they're like, well, how did you attract, not only did you attract this great client base, but great clients to work with?
Well, we are taking any kind of market, but only with people that we are feel comfortable with. And I know it took a little bit to start, but now the referrals and people talking about you, and it it helps when you do. It's the way that you treat them, and it's the response that you have to them, and they appreciate it.
And what,
I don't know how I manage, because I'm control freak, and the fear of losing everything. They were there for me, and they trusted me when I was starting. So to be honest, I really don't know what to say. That just being lucky.
I love it. You make it sound so simple, and it should be, right? It should be simple because it's just the way you treat them, and I'm lucky. And probably it was how you've naturally treated them. It's to you, it makes sense. It's logical. But I think too many people get stuck in their head and focus on themselves and maybe have that lack of confidence to even focus on the client maybe and how they should be treated.
And I always thought of myself to be that person. And I don't know, I think I'm happy. And I can tell you that even though I stress, as normal, female, as control and the
Mm,
fear, but I'm doing what I like, and I'm working with the people that I like, and only with the clients that are, that we feel comfortable with. So even when I'm stressed out, I am very happy about what I'm doing.
amazing.
Uh, I have my hours, and I like to start a little bit late and finish late, because most of my clients are in California, so it's perfect.
Mhm.
And if I don't feel like working today and I don't have deadlines, I can take a day off. You know what I mean? It's a lot of freedom the way that I have to be sitting there, to taxis or for example, and working 16 hours a day. But I don't mind because I told you taxis is my rush.
Yes, exactly. You're doing what you love, so it doesn't
Oh
feel like
yeah,
work.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um,
So it's just that I love what I do. I always love numbers and accounting and now tax. Since 2007 I've been doing taxes. So it's just that I love what I'm doing and now I have control. And I don't want to say it again, but it is the team. I feel very comfortable with them.
you love taxes, and I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but for the women in business who are afraid, they're afraid of taxes, they're afraid of the IRS, like just the whole word gives them anxiety. Do you have any guidance for them?
Well, you have to find a person that makes you feel comfortable. Okay. So if it's a business that is behind on taxes or someone that is starting a business, it's always very important to have an accountant that you trust. And listen, I know it's hard that you're having another person to tell you what to do, but we have the experience, we have the education because we're required to take so many hours every year to stay on top of everything. Try to find a person that will work with you as you grow. And I have a couple of clients like that. I one of my first clients, he had just started his business and now he has 3 million, sales. And he has a team of 25 people and we grew together. So it's if you find the right person, you can work with them.
Yeah.
We see the talent too, and we see the possibilities. I may have a couple of clients that I know they are struggling, so we find a way of payment so they still can, hire us. We're still getting paid, but it's just making it easy. And the deal is that, when they grow, we grow. Don't leave me. I'm not going to sign anything, but usually people, it's thankful for that. And
Hmm.
I don't mind doing it. It's hard out there, and not everybody has $2,000-3,000 for a couple of corporate tax returns. And if I can help, I help.
Absolutely. I truly believe your numbers tell a story, and it can be your story of your actions. It can be a story of your habits. Like if you're looking at people's numbers, spending habits, selling habits, where they're spending their time, and even as they grow, there's a whole thing around thinking like the rich, or spending like the rich, or saving like the rich. So there's a lot of assumptions for women who've never created that level of wealth before, and then they do, um, and they are afraid to, maybe they're afraid to lose it, and they hoard it and hold on to it. And then there's some who haven't reached the level yet and think, well, I have to act like I'm rich. And then they overspend and they go outside that margin because they want to get there. And they
I
assume
made that
that's what they
mistake.
do. Yeah, tell me about that.
It happens. Listen, I grew up in Colombia and we were not poor, but so you get paid in pesos, not in dollars. So at some point you start to see a little bit of profits and I made mistakes and I overspent and I bought something that maybe I shouldn't. And it's just that you learn. But I think you have to burn that because it's your job too. A friend told me every time that you get a new client, give yourself something. So I took that as a go buy a $2,000 something.
Yes.
No, it's not that. Go and get a book. Go and get, go and get a
Go for
facial.
dinner.
Yeah, don't spend half of of the profit on a gift. And now that I have people, I'm trying to control myself even more.
Yeah.
Um, yes, it's scared me not to be able. So that's it. It happens when you open a business. You don't pay yourself a salary, or you pay yourself after you pay everybody else. And I'm still in that situation.
Yeah.
That
The
I have a
leaders eat
supporter
last.
boyfriend, so he'll have to take it when I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leaders eat last, right? You pay yourself last, make sure that everyone else is taken care of,
of course.
and then they will continue to be taken care of. And that there's enough to cover if there's a slow month or a rainy month or something like that.
Exactly. Or you lose a client,
Mhm.
like some clients are big enough to, to move your budget or, shift it. So that's something that we try to never happens.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
If you were to go back to your younger self and give your younger self some advice, what would you tell your younger self?
To believe in myself, to treat me a little bit better, and to know that I'm capable. Um, Probably trust the right people. That's it. I doubt myself a lot. I always wanted to do this, but I think I wasn't going to be able to do it until my son was old enough. That was I needed the security of having a paycheck, but I was too rough on myself, and then I finished, my bachelor's with honors, and um, I was able to do a master, and it was very difficult. The IRS test that pain is the amount of laws, and with all the changes now with the new bill, and I'm doing it. So sometimes I think there and I say so many things that I thought that maybe I was dumb, that I didn't have what my brothers have because they are very successful. And so I feel bad about that. I I didn't know how to study, for example. So it wasn't that I couldn't do it, it's just that I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. And I think we are often, running so hard towards that next target and the next goal, um, that I hope you've taken the time to stop and celebrate your successes because it's incredible what you've done, and I know you're still going. You're ambitious, so I'm excited to see what you're doing next over the next year, 2 years, 10 years. It's going to be incredible. Um,
Yeah, I'm planning on retiring here, and this is my retirement, so I have to make it big.
okay,
But slow and steady.
yeah. Paula, for women who are maybe they've been in business for a year or two, or they're brand new and they're scaling towards their six figures for the first time. So they may be around zero, they may be around 50,000 annually. What advice would you have for them that's maybe they're in their own way right now, hitting that first six figure mark?
I think it's what I just say, slow and steady, and it's picking the correct clients. And why? Because maybe you take this new account that is amazing and it's gonna give you $6,000 a month. So just be consistent with what you want. I think that's what helped us because we don't have clients that have moved on from us. And a couple have closed their business, but it's not that they move away from us. So I think that's says something good about it. It's just no and be very patient. Like I worked when I first hired my accountant 2 years ago. She said, "How do you do all this on yourself by yourself?" And I say, "I have no idea. I didn't know that I was working this much, but yeah, I was working 16 hours a day." So, and then I gave her all this work and we started separating the accounts, and then I hired the third person, and I was thinking, how was I doing everything on my own? It's just, I am working a lot before I decide that it's time to move on. And that's going to have to be until we're very safe. Uh, but I don't care. Like I told you, I enjoy it anyways.
And
So,
Paula, now you only work half days. Now you only work 12 hours a day instead of 24 hours a day, right?
yes.
I'm, I'm kidding, but
But
I
but
think
like
you
I
made some
said, I
really
have
great
the
points there.
flexibility. Yes,
Mhm.
I have health issues, so if I don't feel good today, I don't do it, but I know that tomorrow I have to do it.
Yeah.
So, and that gives me that flexibility too.
Yeah.
I struggle with my health and going to the office and all that stuff. I think working from home is the best thing that everyone has ever invented. Oh my God, I love it. My office, I have everything. I got everything delivered. I pretty much don't have to leave the house.
Amazing. Yeah, I think a lot of women don't realize how many hours go into every day when you first start out before you start
Oh
to
yeah, yes.
hand it over to other people that are on your team.
Yes, I was really, every time I was working 16 hours a day, because remember, I'm doing everything. I'm doing the research, I'm doing the interviews, I'm meeting clients, and then I have to do the work. If not, nothing gets done. So it is a lot of hours. That is your baby. Think about it. It is really your baby. You know how people say it? It is. And so I don't mind.
You get to feed it, change the diaper, wake
Yes.
it up, put it down, put it to bed, get up
And
when it
then
gets
put it
up.
on the babysitter. So,
Mhm.
and that.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
can keep growing.
yes, yeah, absolutely. No, I love this. Paul, is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you, or any other guidance that you want to share or insights?
If I did it, anyone can. I really was too rough on myself. And I have all these people telling me how amazing I am. And sometimes I want to cry because of that. I've never seen it, and I never thought that I had this charm. And my people are happy, and I'm happy. My clients are happy. Uh, so you can do it. Anyone can. And you need to find a couple of people that support you. My partner, my boyfriend is amazing. And he goes with all my craziness, even when I overspend. And I have a couple of people that just talk to me and it made me realize that it's just a bump, or that you can do it, or stop thinking about it. And that's all. You need good support, and do it slow and steady. If you get a bunch of clients and you don't have the people, you're gonna miss deadlines. People are not gonna be happy, and we always try, and we always do that. Make sure that what we promise they get, and
Absolutely.
they
Thank
trust
you.
us.
Thank you so much. This has been, the time has flown by. It was so good. I'm so grateful that you joined me on the Wow Effect podcast, Paula. Anyone who is looking for an accountant in America, where can they find your information? Where could they look you up?
Oh, yes, my website. And then assetsmartaccounting.net. And then just click, and we have, it says 30 minutes consultation, but it usually goes an hour and a half because we get to know each other. It's never 30 minutes. I was looking at that the other day, and think about it. It's not about business only. I have to meet the person and feel the connection. So,
Mm,
I tell them what we think, what we can offer, what we can do, and usually they come back.
I love it. Amazing. Paula, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on the Wow Effect.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. If you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to follow the show so you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you're going to love what we have coming up. If you found value in what you heard, share it with a friend who might need it too. Until next time, keep building your dream life and your dream business.